It's you today.
Oh, yeah, no, since she's organ playing, I always like make sure I come over.
Yeah.
He does all the way.
Well, because you can't take any cast
Oh.
out of this right at the salon.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
suspended until you're.
Oh wait, today. Oh, first Sunday. Okay,
It's
okay.
suspended until you have some kind where you sell it or you business or something. Juicy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tuesday, yeah, since it's the first Sunday.
We don't get it out till like.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I told mom like, oh, we can introduce him. Okay, and just one daughter, right?
Yes.
Is it all versus Carrie? For
So what's Alex doing? I mean, it's not being.
How many verses are there?
it's 3.
Casey does.
I can't remember if we usually just do 2. You might want to ask Darlene.
She doesn't do that work. She does the actual. She's out on the scene. She's out on the scene, and she doesn't do that work.
I'm trying to see if we sing that. Okay, let me ask.
I'm gonna have them sing.
Well, I thought it like you want to see here. Well, Debbie was a because he, I mean, she should see. He should see what she.
I'll do verses. Oh, this is for Bishop's piece right here. So you'll have to do 1, 2, I can do 3. You sure? Yeah, which is you start and then I'll put in the first initial. I could do everything but dismissal, so you have to do dismissal now. Okay. And then you have to do the Did you get my text? I just sent it. Yeah, so something for. Namanda Vatsanamanda 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 Vatsanam.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Today we will start today's service with opening meditation followed by Nembutsu. Please join me in placing your hands together in Gasho.
Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda.
Please rise if you're able for the singing of the Gatha Hotoke-sama on page 174 of the service book or page 64 of the Gatha book. We'll sing verses 1 and 2, followed by the recitation of the Golden Chain and Nembutsu on page 5.
Before we read the Golden Chain, I'd just like to read the translation of the Gatha. I wish to be embraced by the Buddha, just like when I play, held to my mother's heart. I wish to rely upon the Buddha, just like when my father firmly holds my hand. Okay. Golden Chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu.
Okay, please join in the chanting of the Sutra Jusei on page 95 of the service book. During the Sutra chanting, we will have Oshoko or incense offering by the following: Dharma School student Chloe Ota, adult Kenji Ota.
Gagon Chosegan Hishima Jodom Shiga Fumanzo 小学顔無旅行不意大接種不採ショッピング政府上小学監視上仏道妙正長寺本苦行未所門政府上小学利欲人少年上映修本業しぐむ浄土一生天にし人力現代婚不詳無才道少女三苦名交際集約難会費知恵源名詞公務案閉塞小悪道通達全宗門高僧上満足いよろじ本日月主十期天根不言一種解放存公正苦毒を上大集中説法ししく供養微細物具足習得音金質上門得意三害を女仏無下地通達未不詳願が投資最小損志願や交換大勢の感動国書店人当地名言ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマ Namanda Vitsinamanda 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 Namanda Namanda.
We will now listen to a Dharma message by Reverend Candace Shibata.
Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year, as Carrie had mentioned. So today I wanted to just remind us of the theme for the Dharma School children, which is attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude. And I think it's a wonderful theme to think about throughout the year, and especially as we start the new year together as well. Because when we think about all of the causes and conditions of our lives that allow us to be here, how can we not have a heart full of gratitude? And this little book, I think I've shared before, but maybe during the pandemic, is called The Thank You Dish. Thank You Dish. So how many of you say thank you to your dishes? Maybe none of you. That's okay. That's okay. But this will put things into light so that we can say thank you to our dishes, but also it'll encourage us to say thank you to so many other causes and conditions and people in our lives. Okay, so this thank you dish is written by Trey Spalla. The Thank You Dish. It was dinner time at Grace's place. Thanks to the rain, the soil, and sunshine, said Mama. And thank you, kangaroos, said Grace. Kangaroos, said Mama. Why would you want to thank the kangaroos? Well, I'm thanking the kangaroos for not eating the carrots, said Grace. Ah, said Mama. And thank you, Leo, said Grace. Leo, asked Mama, why would you want to thank Leo? Well, I'm thanking Leo for lending me the water so I can pick the lemons from lovely Lily's tree, said Grace. Ah, said Mama. And thank you, Alpaca, said Grace. Alpaca, asked Mama, why would you thank an alpaca? Well, I'm thanking the alpaca for the wool so that Auntie Amber could knit a scarf that kept Uncle Fred from freezing when he caught the fish, said Grace. Ah, said Mama. And thank you, road workers, said Grace. Road workers, asked Mama, why would you want to thank the road workers? Well, I'm thanking the road workers for fixing the path so we can ride our bikes along the creek and all the way to Suki's stall to buy corn and kale, said Grace. Ah, said Mama. Hey, I got one for you too, said Mama. Thank you, flower tree. Flower tree, said Grace. Why would you thank the flower tree? Well, I'm thanking the flower tree because that's how we met Trish, when you said that her dress matched the tree. Ah, said Grace. And said Grace, now that we're friends, she's given us some of her homemade sauce. And this homemade sauce is called Trish's Delicious Relish. I never knew there were so many thanks to give just for one dinner, said Mama. Well, I've got one more, said Grace. Thank you, Mama. Me, said Mama. Why would you thank me? And I don't know if many of you can see it, but all of the things and the people that they thanked are all right here in the shadows while they're eating. I'm thanking you for cooking such a yummy dinner, of course, said Grace. My pleasure, said Mama. Thanks for saying that. The end. So I know that this is a very short but simple book, but I think it allows us to really think about all of those individuals, seen and unseen, and all of those different ingredients that are grown by other people that allow us to eat one meal. And I know I've talked about this before, and even my wagesa that I wear that indicates I'm a Buddhist, and the Montoshiki show that you wear. I'm seeing if anybody's wearing theirs today. No? Okay. So you can always wear these during Sunday service. Don't be afraid. But, and I know some are wearing these as well, but this one in particular reminds us of all of these fruits and vegetables and living beings like the fish and the cows that really sustain our lives. So again, this is a nice way to start our new year with this attitude of gratitude with this thank you dish, okay? So maybe this evening when you have dinner with your family, you can maybe start your own ritual of thanking your dish, thanking the individuals who make it possible for you to eat and to sustain your life and your body. Okay, so why don't we place our palms together as an expression of this gratitude together. Please join me in saying the Nembutsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda.
So thank you, Reverend Shibata, because, so you students, I remember when she was like Colin, and Colin, you were a baby. And she went through Dharma school, just like all of you students out there, all the way through. She was a YBA member, she was active in basketball, and she came full circle to come back and share the Dharma with us. So thank you very much, Reverend Shibata. Yes. And so we like to welcome, we're really bad at this, so we have some students that aren't babies anymore, but we do have new students that we would like to introduce today. And I don't see Akaya Garcia unless Akaya's in the back. No? So we'll catch Akaya next time. But we'd like to have Evelyn Diaz come up and offer incense, and then you'll receive a ninju and a book from Sensei. And our next student is our tiniest one of all right now, Colin Naishi. That's cute, huh? So Dharma School students, parents, and friends, let's welcome them. Thank you. What are we doing at birthdays? Birthdays.
Now it's Now it's time for January birthdays. Dharma School students, Rainier Belts, Akaya Garcia, who's not here, James Naishi, Chloe Ota, Are there any other students with birthdays in January? Okay, moving on to adults, Carrie Wong, Leonard Ishihara, Joyce Tatsumi, Lauren Nakaue, Kristen Lamb, Damian Levitt. Are there any other adults with birthdays in January? We'd like to thank Peggy Martin for the cupcakes this month. Okay, let's sing happy birthday to our dear friends.
Joyce, you had perfect timing walking through that door. Oh. I've been told, Bob, is it your birthday this month? Come on up. I don't mind playing the song again. Jules? Well, come on up. Jamie Belts. I'll write these down. Yes, we will. Jules. Isn't it nice to have friends that'll tell on you when it's your birthday? But we'll have Charlie add it to the list, so. And we're watching you. If you kind of look away or somebody starts pointing at you, we're going to get you. So announcements. So a reminder, if you have purchased a spot at the crab feed, it is on January 11th, coming up very quickly. So don't forget you have a reservation. I'll gladly take your spot if you forget. It's not too late to donate raffle prizes. If you are interested, if you could please let either Sachi and Okita or Candy Hayashi know so that they can be prepared, and we can be sure to record your generosity for this event. There will be an SBWA meeting today at 11:30. If you wish to join, everyone is welcome, so please come to our meeting at 11:30. We have refreshments, so we do have food. That's a big draw. It's in the mini chapel in the center section. YBA is sponsoring a pizza appreciation luncheon after service on January 12th, and all are invited. Join us for Ho'onko. Oh, and Sangha Club, I've been informed too. Join us for a Ho'onko service on January 19th. Who's our guest speaker? Reverend Ken Fujimoto. Oh, Reverend Ken Fujimoto is coming out of retirement to be our guest speaker, so be sure to attend. And this will be followed by our potluck luncheon. Volunteers are needed for omigaki or temple cleanup on Saturday, January 18th, beginning at 9 a.m. There's lots of work to be done, so the more hands, the better. Reverend Shibata's book club will resume on January 22nd at 6:30 by Zoom. So if you have not yet joined but are interested, please contact the temple office for the Zoom link. Please bring your recyclable cans and plastic bottles. They're being collected by YBA. You can leave them on the white barrels underneath the carport. Are there any other announcements? Calendars? Yeah. Oh, as Mike's coming up, our temple calendar or church, BCA church calendar is in the foyer, one per family, please. Stockton is in there, so I'm sure you can find faces you know. And this is the first year we've actually printed a physical calendar since the pandemic. So this is a great thing.
Following the service is the Shotsuki service for January. For those not attending the Shotsuki service, you're invited to the mini chapel for coffee hour. Students will be going to class after the service. Also at 11:30 today, the Taiko class for Dharma School students and any other interested individuals will be held. On Thursday, UOP women's basketball will be held. The temple will be having a table to promote our temple. We will be passing out lapel pins and washi paper pins.
It's okay, I can announce it. As we're tabling this event at UOP, they're playing Santa Clara. We were given 20 free tickets. So some individuals who will be helping with the tabling have claimed some of those tickets, but there's still a bunch of free tickets. So if you want to go, what time is it, at 6 p.m.? I think the game starts at 6. At 6 p.m. So if you want to go, you can let me know. I can put you on the list, or you can claim some of the tickets at will call, but it'll be first come, first serve. So if you go there, and if they say that we're tickets, I believe they're also discounted tickets as well. So if you do want to come, just let me know and I'll put you on the list. And the more the merrier. So please come and support our table and have some fun with the Sangha, and also get to know some of the other churches in the area of Stockton as well. Okay, thank you.
On Saturday, January 18th, it's the same day as the temple omigaki, the cleanup. At 2 o'clock that afternoon, the Stockton Assembly Center will be available to have a tour of the building. This is to turn the building into a museum and park in commemoration of the incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II.
Okay, now we'll have dismissal. Please observe good etiquette and do not enter the aisle before the row in front of you. Those students who did not offer incense before the service are asked to do so before leaving the Hondo. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. It's nice to see you all today as we remember and honor our loved ones who have passed away in this particular month. And as I mentioned, it's a nice way to start the year as we reflect upon the last year, those members and family members who have passed away last year, but of course, throughout our lives. And this is a wonderful way for us to remember and honor them during this Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service. Okay, so let us start with the chanting of Sambujo, 3 respectful callings, as we call upon Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and the Buddhas of the 10 directions to be present during this service. And this will be followed by the dedication of this service, in addition to the reading of the Shotsuki names for the month of January. Sambujo can be found on the inside front cover of your service book. We have gathered today to observe our Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service. This is our monthly service to remember friends and loved ones who have passed away in the month of January. They are Yoshio Asai, Kazuichi Doi, Michie Egusa, Tom Foundation, Michie Fei Fujiki, Hiroshi Fukuyama, Jack Shigeki Fukuyama, Gary Hajio, Naka Hajio, Toshiko Hamaji, Keiichi Hayame, Kaname Hirata, Tak Horita, Masano Ikeda, Judy Yoshie Imanaka, Cheryl Sadame Ito, Mei Kajioka, Kusuichi Kamada, Tamie Kamada, Kukino Kanaishi, Masao Kawada, Tomiko Kawasaki, Nobutaro Kawatake, Motokichi Kikawa, Fumi Kitagawa, Sumiko Kochi, Akiko Koga, Susumu Koga, Mitsunori Komure, Alan Shigeru Kuboyama, Kise Kumamaru, Jusuke Masai, Jack Matsumoto, Laila Matsumoto, Nobutaka Matsumura, Masae Matsuno, Kyoko Matsuo, Tadao Mikasa, Albert Mamoru Morimoto, Hitoshi Edward Nagata, Hans Nakano, Sam Isamu Nakao, Naoyuki Nakashima, Fumio Nishida, Joe Atsushi Nishihara, Yayono Nishihara, Henry Nishikawa, Tadashi Nishimori, Yoshie Nishimori, Yae Nishimoto, Yoshio Nishimoto, Henry Moto Nita, Masao Nita, Kenroku Ota, Mary Yoneko Okuna, Dorothy Okura, George Tatsuo Okura, Masaki Oshiro, Shotaro Otsubo, Masao Sakai, George Sakata, Yoshi Sasaki, Die Sato, Michi Shimada, Kikuyo Takemoto, Roy Masaru Tashima, Umeko Tateyama, Grace Tauchi, Hisako Tomimatsu, Robert Toshio Tominaga, Kathy Kiku Tomura, Yukiko Tsujimoto, Elmer Tsunekawa, Toshio Tsunekawa, Chiyoko Ueda, Chiono Helen Ueda, Kazuo Ueda, Kyoko Lillian Ueda, Gunji Ueyama, Michiko Haruo Umeda, Katsumi Ueda, Satoru Uekubo, Charles Shigeto Wakai, Ben Watanabe, Seiichi Watanabe, Henry Akira Yabumoto, Soyo Yabumoto, Peter Yagi, Richard Yamada, Shizuko Yamaguchi, Dorothy Chisato Yamanaka, Fu Yamasaki, Narumi Yanagi, Kimie Yasuda, Agnes Setsuko Yoshimura, Grace Sumiko Yoshimi, James Yoshino, and Yoshio Yamashita. We realize in the cherished memories of those we love and have lost, the impermanence of all the world is revealed. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of life's impermanence. May the lights that burn brightly on the altar lead our thoughts to Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Okay, so at this time, please join me in the chanting of Sambutsuge. And Sambutsuge can be found on page 82. And for all of you in attendance, please come forward to offer incense during the chanting. Kogengi 精進三昧智恵一徳無量主生慶武人体前年小仏王会愚人寺の空語外体無名欲ぬ世尊読む二の四子人徳無量空君五大知恵寿命光明威尊神道大仙願が差仏在所可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任精進妙税三昧知恵以上公正徳仏仏教志願一切空空一切大安慶始無仏百千億万無量大小修行五者供養一切使徒小仏不尿苦道賢正不逆医療五者小仏世界不不影無種節度妙思想変思想国尿税精進非人な量量が差仏国土第一公主奇妙道場調節国領内音任務闘争ガト愛民到達一切地母大小心熱症状意図が国慶楽和の好物神妙税が心象発願の日力小小欲地母生尊知恵無限浄土子孫知が信行 shokudokju gagyo shojin ninju fuge namandabu namandabu Ganishikudoku Byodo Seisai Don Moda Ishin Odyo An Namanda Vitsina Manda Vitsina Manda Vitsina Manda Vitsina Manda Vitsina Manda Vitsina Manda Namanda. Please stand if it's comfortable for you for the Gatha Tsuicho no Uta verses 1 and 2. This can be found on page 222, and this will be followed by the three treasures found on page 2. I'd like to take this moment to read the translation of the verses. Though you have gone to the Pure Land, my thoughts are with you. Longing to see your face, it floats before me when I intone the Buddha's name. Beneath the spring flowers, or in the garden of singing insects, on an autumn night, taking your hand, I rejoice in Oyasama's compassion as I long for you. 3 treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we should be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavats, namandavats, namandavats. You may be seated. Okay, so at this time I wanted to share my Dharma message for this month's Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service. And a few thoughts came to my mind as I was thinking about today's service, such as the new year and our theme of attitude of gratitude for the students, from the Dharma School students, and also, of course, reflecting upon the lives of the loved ones who have passed away and who you're remembering today. And so as we stand at the new year, the threshold of this new year, it really is a time for deep reflection on the past year, on the lives of those who have come before us, and of course the opportunities ahead that 2025 presents. In the teachings of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we're encouraged to reflect upon, of course, the impermanence of life, and of course the interconnectedness of all beings as well. And these are 2 very important basic tenets in Buddhism that span all of the schools of Buddhism. And this reflection deepens our understanding of gratitude, and it invites us to remember the lives of those who have passed away, as well as the living, who continue to really shape our hearts and minds. In this tradition, we recall upon the impermanence of life, which again is a fundamental truth of Buddhism. And the passing of time truly reminds us that nothing ever stays the same. All things are subject to change, including our loved ones and even ourselves. But rather than to have feelings of sorrow and despair, the teachings are inviting us to really recognize this truth with a deep sense of gratitude. Grateful for the time that we had, for the love that we received, and for the teachings that continue to guide us, even though grief is very hard at some times. One story from the life of the Buddha really explains and beautifully illustrates this theme of impermanence and gratitude. And it's the story between Buddha and his disciple Ananda. So one day, as the Buddha and his disciple Ananda were walking together, they came across a field where the Buddha pointed to a large tree. The Buddha asked, "Ananda, do you see this tree?" Ananda nodded. "Yes, Buddha, yes, I see it." The Buddha then said, "This tree will one day fall. It will decay and eventually return to the earth. Its leaves, its branches, its very existence. Everything is impermanent. It is like everything else in the world. Birth, growth, death, and decay are inevitable for all things, even the most beautiful." Ananda, who had been with the Buddha for many years, felt a sense of sadness as he thought about the people who he had known and the time that was passing. He said, "Buddha, what happens to us when those we love pass away? How are we to respond to this sadness?" The Buddha looked at Ananda with great compassion and said, Ananda, the sorrow we feel when a loved one passes away, it's natural. But we must remember that everything, including our loved ones, is a part of the great flow of life. Just as a tree grows, blossoms, and eventually returns to the earth, so too do all living beings. We must not mourn in despair, but rather celebrate the lives of those who have been with us. Their love, their teachings, their kindness, they remain with us, even after their physical presence is gone. The Buddha then reminded Ananda that true gratitude comes from understanding this impermanence and interdependence. The light of the Buddha, symbolized by the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, is this source of comfort, knowing that Amida Buddha's boundless compassion holds all beings, and regardless of whether they are alive or have passed away. And so as I was thinking about this story, I was also thinking about the experiences that I have had as a minister, as I face the passing of loved ones, as I comfort families during times of grief, and truly how important ritual becomes during this particular time of transition for families. And I'm thinking about the new year, and as I started the new year, and maybe like many of you, your families are getting smaller because of the passing away of loved ones. And it's true for even our family. When my mom was still alive, we would have both sides of our family, the Shibatas and the Shinmotos, come to my parents' home. And it was packed, and I don't know if we had enough chairs for everybody, but it was lively, and it was very exciting to have both sides of those families interact with one another and share great food together. Sadly, many of my family members, especially on my Shimoto side, have passed away. And just because of different circumstances, not all of the Shibatas get together all the time. And so we were still very fortunate to have New Year's at my niece's house as she hosted our family get-together. However, during this particular New Year's, I was approached by my mother's cousin and his wife as her auntie was actively passing away, and she was in hospice care. And she had inquired, well, I know my auntie, she's a Lodi member, but would you mind doing the Makuragyo if that's okay with the Lodi minister? And as a professional courtesy, we always call upon one another, and I did let Reverend Imada know that one of his members was passing away, who happens to be a family member's family member. And he gave his consent and okay to conduct this Makuragyo. And so the day after New Year's, I did actually go to her home. Although she's in hospice care, the family figured it would be nice for me to be able to come to do the Makuragyo, or bedside service, while she was still living. And I was very moved by the care that was expressed to her, and I had introduced myself and had mentioned, we're here to provide this comfort service for you so that you can hear the chanting, you can hear the Nembutsu, and you could hear it in your heart and mind. And I said, is it okay if we start chanting? And although she wasn't able to speak, she nodded her head yes. And so I had invited the family members to come around to her bedside to just let her know that they were with her, to comfort her and hold her hand. And I chanted and said the Nembutsu at the end. And although, again, she wasn't able to speak, I couldn't hear her. I could see her mouth moving, saying Namo Amida Butsu. And truly, I was very moved. I was very, very moved. And I think, again, the misconception is that we conduct the Makuragyo, or pillow service, after the person has passed away. And at many times, this is the circumstances when we are called, because we just never know when a loved one will pass away. And more often than not, I do get called after the loved one has passed. But truly, if we have an opportunity as ministers and as family members, what we try to do is to do this pillow service or bedside service while our loved one is still alive. Again, allowing them to hear the Nembutsu, to hear the sutra chanting, And perhaps this maybe nostalgic moment brings them some comfort to the time of their participation in the service, or excuse me, or the temple provided them with comfort and joy as well. And so, again, it was an honor for me to do this ritual with this particular family member. And so I was just kind of thinking about, again, this ritual and how it does provide a lot of comfort when we are faced with impermanence or the transition of impermanence as well. And so as we look at this new year, it's really important for us to, of course, remember those who have passed away, the traditions that we hold near and dear to our heart to provide us with comfort, and also to be able to express gratitude for the lives that our loved ones have lived. And their love and influence, they continue to shape us. And in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, again, we take refuge in the boundless compassion of Amida Buddha, who embraces us in life and in death, guiding us to live with wisdom and compassion and deep gratitude as well. And we too, we're truly like this tree in this particular story. We're growing, we're changing, and ultimately we will return to the earth. And the Buddha's teachings encourage us, again, not to despair over impermanence, but to see it as an invitation to fully live in this present moment, appreciating the relationships that we have, and of course, this opportunity for us to practice gratitude every day, every moment. So let this new year be a time to remember those who have touched our lives, reflect upon the preciousness of this fleeting existence, and cultivate a heart of gratitude. And may we live each day with awareness, knowing that we are not alone, just as how my cousin's auntie, she knew she wasn't alone. The love of our ancestors, our Dharma friends, the kindness of our friends, and the guiding light of Amida Buddha are always with us, illuminating our path always. And so may this new year bring us a deeper peace and wisdom and compassion as we walk together in the light of Amida Buddha's great wisdom, compassion, and love. And as we remember the past, let us also be grateful for this present moment that we have together. For each moment, the Buddha's guidance will always be with us. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Okay, so before we conclude, please join me in the final Gatha. Let's do Ondoksan number 1. And this will be found on page 194. And please stand if it's comfortable for you. If not, go ahead and remain seated. And this will be followed by one last reading meditation. Ondoksan number 1. I'd like to read the translation of Ondoksan number 1. In gratitude, the debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's great compassion, I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my Dharma teachers, I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. Namandavats, namandavats, namandavats. May we truly reflect with gratitude and humility on which that we have been allowed to receive through the teachings of the Buddha. May we always endeavor to listen intently with our fellow beings to the summoning voice of Amida Buddha, and together as one, be born in Amida's pure land. With a radiant and boundless mind, may we each regard all living beings with loving kindness without limit. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Naman Dabutsu. Naman Dabutsu. Naman Dabutsu. You may be seated. Okay, so thank you again for attending this morning's Sunday Dharma service and, of course, the Shotsky Monthly Memorial Service. I hope everybody had a nice celebration as you welcome the new year, and I want to thank you for your kind support as well throughout the year, and look forward to seeing you throughout this year as well. Do you have any additional announcements? Okay, so we do have some time for the crab feed left, right? I think. Okay, so if you didn't put in your numbers or your reservation for the crab feed, you still have a little bit of time, so please do so. Or if you're, if you want to donate a raffle prize, we kindly accept raffle prizes as well, and those can be accepted in the office. And then I'm not sure if everybody heard, but this Thursday we'll be hosting a table at the women's UOP basketball game, and we wanted to get out into the community so other folks have an opportunity to join the temple and the Sangha as well. And we also were given 20 free tickets. So if you want to go to the game, just let me know, and I'll put you on the list, and just come to the game, and a ticket will be there for you, okay? Okay, thank you, everybody. For those of you that are staying for the Buddhist Women's Association meeting, that will be following. It's 11:19, so you have a little bit of time to transition over to the SBWA meeting. Okay, thank you all for your kind attendance today, and please have a good afternoon. Naman Dabutsu, Naman